What if I told you that one of the most unexpected Doctor Who characters, a comic relief sidekick, a walking punchline to some, just pitched an idea so bold that it could rewrite the rules of companion comebacks forever? Yes, I'm talking about Nardole. Matt Lucas. The bald guy with the quips who turned out to have more heart than half the Time Lords combined. Here's the kicker. He doesn't just want to return. He has a plan. A pitch so clever it could slide seamlessly into the Whoniverse without breaking canon. And if Russell T Davies is listening, this could actually happen. But before we dive into the details, let me ask you this. Would you bring Nardole back? Or was his goodbye in The Doctor Falls the perfect ending? Drop your first instinct in the comments right now. Because when I tell you what Matt Lucas suggested, you might change your answer. Here's why this matters. Nardole was never supposed to be a long-term companion. He was introduced as comic relief in the Husbands of River song. A head in a robot body, a weird gag about stolen body parts, and that was supposed to be it. But something happened. Fans loved him. His chemistry with Capaldi clicked. And suddenly, this throwaway character became a full-time TARDIS traveler. And not just that, he evolved. Underneath the jokes was a man running from his past, a man who cared so deeply he stayed to protect a group of colonists from certain death. His exit? Heartbreaking. Quiet. Heroic. The Doctor left him to hold the line on a doomed colony ship, because Nardole was the only one smart enough and brave enough to do it. Which raises the question, how do you bring back a character who got the perfect goodbye? Simple answer, you don't. Unless you're Matt Lucas. In a recent interview, Lucas dropped his idea casually, like it wasn't going to blow fandom discourse wide open. His pitch, Nardole doesn't just come back, he comes back wrong. Changed. Scarred. Because years have passed since that colony battle, and time changes people. Especially in the Whoniverse. But that's not all. He suggested something even more interesting. Make Nardole a wildcard. Is he a friend? A foe? Both? Imagine this. The Doctor stumbles on an older, battle-hardened Nardole, leading a ragtag resistance on some distant world. Still funny. Still warm. But with that edge of someone who's seen too much darkness. Sound familiar? It's the same arc that turned Donna from comic relief to tragedy. But this time, it's even riskier. Because Nardole's charm is his innocence. Corrupt that, and you don't just change him. You challenge the Doctor. Because right now, Doctor Who is obsessed with legacy. Bringing back old companions, reviving forgotten villains, giving us regeneration twists nobody saw coming. But here's the difference. Nardole isn't nostalgia bait. He's a wild card. Fans don't agree on him. Some love him. Some hate him. And that makes him perfect for a comeback in an era that thrives on risk. Plus, and this is big, Matt Lucas's game? He said it multiple times, if Russell calls, he's in. And if you've been following RTD's strategy, he loves weaving unexpected faces back into the fabric of the show. Case in point, Mel Bush in 2023. If she can return after 36 years, Nardole can absolutely walk back into the TARDIS after 8. But hold up. Because Matt Lucas didn't stop at a casual pitch. He teased a concept so radical that it would shake up not just his character, but the entire moral compass of the show. And I'm telling you right now, if this happens, Nardole's comeback could become one of the most talked about arcs since the Master's reveal in Spyfall. We'll get to that in part 2. And trust me, you do not want to miss it. Before we jump, I need your answer. Should Nardole return as comic relief, or as a broken anti-hero? Drop your hot take with FEF Team Classic Nardole, or FEF Dark Nardole. I'm reading every single one. Oh, and if you want the inside scoop before anyone else, hit subscribe now. Because what I'm about to reveal next is so bold, that even the Doctor might flinch. So, you thought Matt Lucas' pitch was just, hey, bring Nardole back. Make him darker? Cute. Because what he teased in that interview was so much bigger than a personality tweak. He pitched something that rewrites Nardole's entire identity. Not just his arc. Not just his morality. His purpose. And if Russell T Davies dares to do this, it could be the boldest narrative risk the Disney era has taken yet. Here's what Lucas suggested. And if you're not sitting down, do it now. Nardole returns. But not as the quirky sidekick you remember. Not even as the wounded hero I teased in part 1. He comes back as a rival to the Doctor. Not evil, not mustache-twirling villain territory, but a man with a mission that puts him directly at odds with the Doctor's ideals. Picture this: years after the Doctor falls, Nardole has survived the chaos of that doomed colony ship. He's rebuilt himself, piece by piece, in a galaxy that never forgave him. He's not weak anymore. He's not following anyone's orders. He's a leader, a strategist, a warrior who's willing to cross lines the Doctor never will. And now, he's standing between the Doctor and a choice that could save billions, or destroy them. Because it flips the companion dynamic on its head. Companions exist to challenge the Doctor morally, sure. But what happens when one says, "Your way isn't working"? That's not just drama. That's philosophy with consequences. Imagine the dialogue. Nardole, once timid and goofy, now hardened, spitting words like Whoniverse. "You preach mercy while the universe burns. I don't have that luxury anymore." That's not just tension. That's emotional carnage. And here's where it gets really spicy. This pitch dovetails perfectly with the tone RTD has teased for upcoming arcs. Stories about legacy, broken promises, and the cost of being the Doctor. What better way to hammer that home than with a former friend turned ideological enemy? Let's not ignore the elephant in the TARDIS. Disney's involvement means global stakes. The BBC wants international buzz. And what generates headlines faster than nostalgia? Not nostalgia alone, controversial nostalgia. We've already seen this strategy. Donna Noble's return in The Star Beast. Mel Bush resurrected in The Giggle. Whispers of Billie Piper's twist role in the Disney-era finale. Now imagine the next PR bombshell. Matt Lucas returns to Doctor Who. But this time, he's not on the Doctor's side. Tell me that wouldn't break Twitter. Tell me that wouldn't dominate fan theory videos for months. And yes, you know I'd be making 3 of them back to back. Here's the kicker. And it's the part of Lucas' idea nobody's really talking about yet. He hinted that Nardole's resurrection shouldn't just be a character return. It should be tied to something cosmic. Translation. He's not just a hardened survivor. He's altered, upgraded. Maybe not cyber, converted, but maybe touched by something Time Lord, something alien, something that makes him unnatural. Now we're in companion turned dark entity territory. And that's where this pitch goes from cool. What did I just hear? What if the Doctor faces a Nardole who has seen the truth of the timeless child and decided the Doctor's entire crusade is a lie? What if he holds secrets even the Master couldn't stomach? And before you roll your eyes, remember, RTD loves dropping lore bombs in the least expected places. What if Nardole becomes the accidental keeper of forbidden Gallifreyan tech? A weapon, a code, a truth the Doctor cannot allow to leak. That's not just a character comeback. That's a season arc. So let me throw this at you: if Nardole comes back, do you want him as, say, the loyal friend? Unchanged? Hearted comic relief. The hardened survivor. Battle. Scarred but still Doctor adjacent. The rogue opponent. Armed with secrets, walking the moral gray zone. Comment below with your pick, because I'm betting the last one wins. And here's the real tension. If Matt Lucas gets his way, this isn't just about Nardole. It's about framing what a companion can become. It's about showing that traveling with the Doctor doesn't always make you better. Sometimes it breaks you. Because in part 3, I'm going to tell you the exact narrative setup that could make this pitch canon, including the rumored spin-off where this idea could secretly play out. Oh, and trust me, Disney's streaming ambitions, they make this twist very likely. So stay tuned. And if you haven't yet, subscribe right now. Because what I reveal next will make you see Nardole in a way you've never imagined. Let's stop pretending this would be a one-off cameo. If Russell T Davies green lights Matt Lucas' pitch, Nardole's return won't just fill an episode slot. It'll ignite a storyline that bleeds across seasons and spin-offs. And here's why that matters: Disney didn't step into Doctor Who to give us cozy standalone stories. They want a franchise, a connected universe that keeps subscribers locked in. Now, imagine this pitch dropping into that strategy: a companion turned opponent, wielding secrets that make the Doctor sweat, setting up a moral war that divides fandom for years. Sound dramatic? Good. Because that's how you build a cinematic universe without calling it one. You think RTD brought back Mel Bush for nostalgia? Wrong. He's laying bricks for a bigger structure. Uint is getting a rumored spin-off. Torchwood, always lurking. And now, whispers of a Companion Chronicles style series have started floating around. That's where Nardole could slot in. Not just in the main show, but as the protagonist, or antagonist, of a spin-off exploring the gray morality of survival in the Whoniverse. Picture Doctor Who presents The Broken Circle. Tagline: not all heroes stay heroes. The show follows Nardole rebuilding worlds, fighting for justice his way, which sometimes means aligning with monsters to stop something worse. Think Andor, but with time anomalies and snarky one-liners. And before you laugh, Disney loves redemption arcs with teeth. They'd greenlight this yesterday. But let's talk about the elephant in the control room. What secret would justify turning Nardole into a wild card? This is where the theory goes nuclear. Matt Lucas hinted at a reason Nardole changes. What if that reason ties directly to the Timeless Child arc? What if the Master didn't lie? What if Nardole, in his years of survival, found the other experiments? The remnants of Gallifrey lives the division erased. Now, Nardole knows the truth. Not just about the Doctor, but about a second child. A contingency Gallifrey built, hidden across timelines. And he believes exposing this truth is the only way to save reality from collapsing again. The Doctor. They'd burn that knowledge rather than let it fall into the wrong hands. Conflict isn't optional now. It's inevitable. And here's the nightmare fuel. What if Nardole's enhancement comes from that very secret? What if he becomes the living paradox? A hybrid of stolen Time Lord code. A man caught between mortality and eternity, haunted by the cost of his own choices. That's not just a comeback. That's a new mythology beat, a twist that rewrites what it means to be a companion. Okay, pause. Because now I need your hot take. Would you watch a spin-off where Nardole goes rogue? Armed with secrets that could burn the Whoniverse to ash? Drop yes or GE in the comments if you're here for it. Drop an MOI if you think his redemption arc should stay pure. And if you're bold enough to craft your own pitch for Dark Nardole, throw it below. I'll feature the best ones in a future BRACTOM. And for everyone who said I was overhyping this in part 1, yeah, sure, because turning a bald comic relief character into the biggest moral dilemma of the Disney era is totally not worth 3 videos and a caffeine meltdown, right? RTD has a pattern. He builds universes through characters, not just plots. Donna's return, Mel's redemption, Jack's unexpected comeback in Revolution of the Daleks. Nardole fits that DNA perfectly, because his arc isn't finished. Not really. And if Disney wants a global hook, a returning face that feels safe, only to twist the knife, that's marketing gold. So if you ask me, Matt Lucas didn't just pitch a clever idea. He handed RTD a blueprint for the next big Doctor Who storyline. Question is, will they dare to pull the trigger? So what do you think? Should Nardole return as the Doctor's loyal pal? Or as the man who finally calls the Time Lord out on their hypocrisy? Hit me in the comments, and if you're new here, subscribe to BRIKWN now. Because next week, I'm diving into the 10th most heartbreaking Doctor Who companion exits. And trust me, number 1 will emotionally destroy you harder than Doomsday. I'm James Roxer. Stay curious, stay dangerous, and remember, never underestimate the funny guy with the bald head. He might just be the one holding the deadliest secret in the universe.